Hello and welcome our viewers into a new episode of your show around Kuwait, where every episode we share some of the stories, real inspiring stories, and sometimes we have some of the topics and headlines. And of course today we have a real inspiring story that we're going to share it with you together. And of course I'm your host Abdul Latif Lanizi, and today I'm joined with my co-host for the first time, where I'm honored, Mrs. Fajr. So hello and welcome, Fajr.
Hi Abdul Latif, it's definitely a pleasure and a delight to be with you and the rest of the team here today. And like you said, we will be shedding light on a number of different interesting and diverse topics that we'll dive into throughout our episode. But let's start with today's interview with Her Excellency Lena Mariana, the Indonesian ambassador. We're definitely delighted to have you here today in Around Kuwait.
Thank you so much for having me. Masa'ul khair.
Yes,
Masa'ul khair. And for all the viewers.
Thank you for saying it in Arabic. Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here with us. We are so glad to have you here, Your Excellency. We're actually so honored to hear from you and to share with you this remarkable interview, inshallah.
So thank you for having us here. Thank you so much.
And we'll be understanding more, Your Excellency, about the relationship between Kuwait and Indonesia, and especially since this historical and diplomatic ties have been ongoing for years and years now. So we'd like to know how has this evolved during your tenure as the Indonesian ambassador here in Kuwait?
So thank you, Fajar. So we now commemorating 56 relationship, the diplomatic relationship between Kuwait and Indonesia. But you know, long before that historian came from Kuwait. He's Kuwaiti, yes. Abdul Aziz Al-Rusaid. So Allah yarham. So he even married to Indonesian ladies, and he was buried in my hometown, in my village, not village, the city, in the capital city of Jakarta, the area known as Tanah Abang. So now that's, you could imagine that 100 years before, not only 56, our relationship between the two countries, this is the diplomatic, but P2P, the person to people relation even established before that. So I think Kuwait and Indonesia, we are a very good,
very close countries. And as always, the connection is really strong, and the bond between the two nations is as always as remarkable as it is. And thank you for this great answer. So for the next question, Your Excellency, is actually, can you share with us some of the successful collaboration, economic collaboration between the two countries, Kuwait and Indonesia?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, after 56 years, so we have a very tight cooperation in terms of economic, not only economic, but cultural, social, and education. And you know that also in terms of manpower, that we send many professionals to Kuwait. And I think that despite the 2 years COVID-19 happening in this in all over the world, but before that, in 2019, the two countries had a what we call it joint commission meeting. So led by our Minister of Foreign Minister, Madam Retno Marsudi. So she came to Kuwait and signed the memorandum of understanding. And we are thinking also to make the free trade agreement between Indonesia and Kuwait, and that's on 2019. And 2019. Yes. And actually in 2020, the second round of the Joint Commission meeting to be held in Indonesia, but it's unfortunate that COVID-19 happened, and that's why we reschedule the Joint Commission meeting will be held this year, inshallah. Inshallah, hopefully in October 2024, we will held the second round of Joint
Inshallah.
Commission meeting, inshallah.
Inshallah. And of course, it's
Yes.
going to be great since always
Inshallah.
that you are
Yes.
our ambassador.
And of course, that must be one of the many projects that have been paused since the pandemic, like you mentioned, Your Excellency. But in what other ways or what other collaborations are there between Indonesia and Kuwait that will be happening soon, especially given the distinct geographical locations of both countries and these factors that should be taken into account?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, during 2023, so we held a very two momentous project and program here in Kuwait. So many, it's a big delegation came from Indonesia. So some of them are legislator and from the government employee, even the chairman of a very strategic institution in our country. Started in on May 10, 2023, we held the Indonesia Investment Forum and supported by KCCI, Kuwait Chamber and Commerce and Industry. And lastly, on November 14, we also held the Indonesian Investment Forum, again supported by KCCI. Alhamdulillah.
Must have been successful.
Yes, because we bring a big delegation from Indonesia.
Yes.
Especially on November, it's a big delegation because we held the Indonesian Trade and Tourism Forum and Exhibition. So Alhamdulillah, hopefully that in the coming years we will see the the actual project will be happening, because during this event we signed the contract, not the contract, the memorandum of understanding between the expert from the IPB University, the most I think distinguished agricultural university in Indonesia, and under their supervision with the company here, in order to held the project about the aquamarine and aquafresh fish project here
Yes.
in Kuwait. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And also that we bring many businessmen, businesswomen, in order
Exactly.
to increase our trade relation between the two countries, because you know that despite the many products that we export here
Yes.
in Kuwait, we would like to increase it. And also Kuwait is a very important partner with us, especially in gas and oil sector.
Yes.
Gas and oil sector.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really a great answer. Your Excellency, also I wanted to ask you about something more personal to you, but also before that, can you tell us about the cultural exchange role, especially in increasing the connection and also the friendship between the two countries, or let's say the two nations of Kuwait and also Indonesia?
Yes, again, that long before Kuwait and COVID-19,
Yes.
and we sent many cultural mission to Kuwait and to introduce the richness of our cultural, and even our culture influenced by Arab countries. And
Yes.
we have a special music, what we call it gambus. You can
Oh,
show
yeah,
it
the
gambus.
gambus, yeah.
Gambus is from Arab's word, and people used to on this music, for example. And we also will be supported by NCCIL, the National Cultural Center of Art and Literature here in Kuwait. So we plan to again to send another cultural mission to Kuwait, because you know that Indonesia is you may know that it's a huge country.
It's really huge.
It
Yes.
consists of 17,000 islands and
Yes.
more than 320 dialects. And if you fly from the western part to eastern part of Indonesia by direct flight, it will take about 6 to 7 hours direct
Mashallah.
flight
That's
so
really big.
very huge. Not only big because
It
in
is,
7
yeah.
or 6 or 7 hours you will pass many countries.
And all of the islands
so
are really
true.
magical.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
very, very magical. We have a very abundant resources and we have also for this 2023,
Yeah.
our population reached about 279 million
Mashallah.
people.
All the bless,
279.
all the bless,
Thank you.
inshallah.
And you know that Indonesia is the biggest, most Muslim populated country in the world.
Yes.
Yes.
It is, yes.
And
Mashallah.
yes.
So, Your Excellency, I wanted to ask you, there is a question which is a little bit more personal to you, which I want to know about your first days here in Kuwait. Like, what did you felt exactly, and what did you see on this beloved country? Like, tell us about the good things that you saw here in Kuwait.
Alhamdulillah, I'm here.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, because I'm the first female ambassadors in the
Mashallah.
Middle East, not only in Kuwait, from
Mashallah.
Indonesia, even from ASEAN. You know ASEAN,
Yes.
Southeast Asian
Yes.
countries
A
association.
whole continent, yes,
Yes,
exactly.
Alhamdulillah, I'm the first female, and you know that's yeah. To tell you the truth, they're a bit surprised. My family a bit surprised. My friend a bit
Mashallah.
surprised. Wow, in the Middle East, female. So are you be okay there? That's the question. And when they said that I'll be posted here,
Yes.
and they asked if how is my feeling, and I said, oh, I'm so grateful to be posted in Kuwait. Alhamdulillah, I said that I accepted right away. Without thinking,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And it's such a
because-
privilege to have you here
Yes.
today
Yes,
in Kuwait
we're really
and on
honored.
our show.
Yes.
Like you said, Your Excellency, you gave us like a brief into the projects and the collaborations for both countries, Indonesia and Kuwait. But if you could, since Abdul Latif wanted to know a bit of your history and your beginnings in Kuwait, I'd like to know what is it that you're personally looking forward to, and if you could elaborate on these projects or collaborations that you feel are close to heart to you.
Yes, so of course that we would like to strengthen our economic ties, even though the people and people ties is already there, but the economic ties, that's our the priority as an ambassador.
And you gave us the examples of the two economic forums.
Yes, and before that we also have many collaboration with many Kuwaitis agencies here in Kuwait, and it's very supported by your government, Alhamdulillah. And because of my background as a member of parliament, and I've been involved in politics since 1992, and in the parliament the first time in 1997.
MashaAllah.
And as a women activist, of course, that this is a good opportunity for me as a female ambassador to also establish the cooperation with the female activists here, even the female businessmen and also a businesswoman, and also in the ministries. So I think it's a good collaboration. And Alhamdulillah, I'm very thankful that our government posts me here, because I can communicate whatever that I see here as a beautiful, as a nice country, as nice people to our people in Indonesia. Whenever I get a chance to visit my country, so I have a meeting with many parties here and explain to them, even though Kuwait is a very small compared to Indonesia.
Really small.
But it's big in everything. I mean, you have a big heart, and you know that a very
The
wealthy.
impact is large and grand, let's say.
Yes,
impact,
and
yes.
very wealthy countries. Now you
Alhamdulillah.
couldn't imagine that after I'm here, many delegation would like to visit Kuwait. And it's already
That's
that
awesome.
a lot of them already visited Kuwait, because before, to tell you the truth, that they don't choose Kuwait to visit for any cooperation or just for holidays, for example. But now they choose Kuwait to
Yes.
be visited. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
That's why I hope that Kuwait Airways will again fly directly to Jakarta,
Inshallah.
because we stopped it in 2015. Now we are working on it to, activate again the direct flight from Jakarta to Kuwait in order to bring more Indonesian people
Yes,
to
to
Kuwait and vice versa.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
We are actually really honored. And of course, Your Excellency, we have the shorter break, and after that we have more and more questions. So for you, our D viewers, we'll be right back after the shorter break, so stay tuned.
And we're back after this short break, and we're definitely enjoying this wonderful interview with Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Indonesia. And Abdul Latif, we were understanding a lot from Her Excellency
Yes.
Lena, and it was just such a delightful start to this interview.
Exactly. And the connection, knowing about the connection between the two countries, economically, emotionally, the friendship between the two nations is actually remarkable. And thank you for elaborating on that. And for your Excellency, given the diverse economic landscape between Indonesia and Kuwait, how does the two nations find the common ground mutually for beneficial ventures?
Yeah, that's as I said, that Indonesia is a big market for Kuwait.
Yes.
And also Kuwait need more products from outside the country. If I'm not mistaken, more than 90% that many goods imported outside Kuwait. So I think given this, and I would like to raise that even ASEAN countries, the market is also big, because about 600 million people living in this area. So I think that we can ensure that Kuwait to look at the market in ASEAN countries and even in Indonesia, especially that we are now promoting also the halal tourism.
Yes.
Halal tourism in Indonesia. And as far as I know, that Kuwaiti people, they know, they're very familiar with Bali Island.
Oh,
but actually,
really magical.
yes, but that we are now promoting what we call it 10 New Bali, meaning that we are preparing the 10 tourist destination as established, as beautiful as Bali.
Yes.
And some of them is very close to Bali.
So we'll have 10 more Balis.
10 more Balis.
10 more Balis.
That's a
And
lot.
Maybe even
actually,
more beautiful if that's possible.
That's
Definitely.
possible. And they have a uniqueness because we have many big islands like Java Island, in Yogyakarta, for example. That's the only one, the province in Indonesia has the king
Yes.
And the king become governor in Yogyakarta, and also in Sumatra Island, even in Raja Ampat in Papua. And close to Bali, we have Lombok Island, Labuan Bajo, and if you heard about Komodo Island.
Komodo.
Komodo is a huge lizard,
Yes.
like a big one.
Yeah,
a
it
big
is
one.
really known.
Yes,
especially on social media.
Yes, and it's very safe to visit Indonesia, and the people is very friendly. So I believe that you will enjoy staying in Indonesia.
Yes.
And again, that as you mentioned, that's the economic ties between Kuwait and Indonesia. We hopefully we will see more increase, because now, as you may know, that we will relocate our capital city from Jakarta. The capital city of Indonesia is Jakarta.
Yes.
And we will relocate it to another island, Borneo Island.
Borneo Island.
Yes, Jakarta is in Java Island,
Yes.
because the most populated island. But we will relocate it to Borneo, or we call it Kalimantan Island.
Kalimantan.
Kalimantan. So, if you've heard about orang utan, the forest man, the forest man.
Yes, the forest
This
man.
is yes, and this big island we share it with Brunei, Darussalam, and some of Malaysia. But the 70% of this island
Yes.
belong to us, and we will relocate our capital city to this island. So
That's really amazing.
yes, we will have many projects in Indonesia. I think about 48, I think, companies here, 48,000 here in Kuwait. I think this is a very huge opportunity for
It is.
economic opportunity in Indonesia. Inshallah.
Yes, inshallah, for the future, a lot of people, inshallah, most of us will be visited Indonesia, because
Yes.
for me personally, I dream to go there. I mean, I go to the social media, Your Excellency, and I see these magical islands, especially Bali. Like, I see it, it's really beautiful. So on the future, I'm definitely willing to go there. So you're telling us that there's going to be 10 more new Balis.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
okay, I need a whole year maybe to visit it.
Oh yes,
Because it's
more
really
than
I
one
think
year.
everyone has such a calm and balanced perception of Indonesia, and is always excited to go there to just like enjoy the islands and different beautiful scapes of nature. And like you said, a lot of new projects are coming on their way, and inshallah we're all going to be looking forward to understanding and
Inshallah.
learning more about them once they're out and launched. But we'd also like to know, on what level does this perception reflect in Indonesia when it comes to Kuwait? How is Kuwait perceived in that sense?
Of course, that we share many common norms, especially because Indonesia is the most populated Muslim country in the world.
In the world.
Yes.
So
As
we
it's known,
share
yeah.
Yes.
common, and because of that, we see Kuwait people as our brothers, sisters, and hopefully Kuwaiti also look at us as a brother and
We are,
sister.
yes.
Because globally also we support each other. Recently, during the ASEAN Parliamentarian Union in Luanda, Angola, last October. So Kuwait with Indonesia and some countries also support for Gaza, for example.
Exactly, for our brothers and sisters in Gaza.
And also in nomination of the leadership of the chairman in international organization, we always support Kuwait. And the other way around, Kuwait also support us. So alhamdulillah, I think we have a very common ground for everything that's make us easy. And if you talk to many Indonesian migrant workers, the professional, especially in oil, gas, hospitality, manufacture, and that's in wellness, for example. So you can ask them that they feel at home.
Yes.
Our nurses has been here. They're staying here for more than 20 years, and they said that we are happy to stay in Kuwait. Very safe,
Alhamdulillah.
very beautiful, and also the people are very, very nice. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
And we are looking forward to send more professional, the skilled workers to Kuwait, because now we are discussing about finalizing the memorandum of understanding between government of Indonesia and government of Kuwait through the Ministry of Health to bring more nurses, to bring more health expertise to this country. So Alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, we look
Yeah.
forward to many projects, and cooperative economic partnership agreement (CEPA) also is ongoing. I mean that we try to make it happen.
Yes.
Yes,
As
free
inshallah
trade
it will be, yeah.
agreement, and also CEPA, we call it cooperative economic partnership agreement. Inshallah.
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 Thank you. That was really remarkable. So, Your Excellency, you were mentioning, let's say, the humanitarian effort in regards of Gaza situation. In general, our in Kuwait, we have one of the most, let's say, humanitarian efforts among any other country. Because as it's been known, like here in Kuwait, we are really humanitarian. So how does Indonesia view the Kuwait's humanitarian efforts globally, especially, let's say, at the era of the late Emir Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah,
Yes.
and also His Highness, the Emir Sheikh Mishal Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah? And on the future, let's say how Indonesia is involved supporting or participating in the humanitarian initiatives.
Yes, we are very grateful, that because Kuwait developed what we call it Sheikh Jaber village.
Yes.
Sheikh Jaber village, first one is in Banten, in Serang, and also in Garut. Inshallah, on November, we will also, inaugurate another phase of the Sheikh Jaber village. We call it, and because of that, the charity program from Kuwait people here is a lot to Indonesia, even though now we have to deal with this through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and also from government side. But Alhamdulillah, in terms of the humanitarian program, the charitable program also, many Indonesian students and children, they enjoyed the facility that you provide for them. And also we are looking forward, not only a humanitarian but in educational cooperation program, because your government give us the scholarship to our student.
We are honored.
Yes, and I talked to our Minister of Education last September in order to invite Kuwaiti students to learn something from Indonesia, because we would like to show you the greatness, and also the brotherhood, the sisterhood between the two countries. So,
and this cultural exchange, Your Excellency, for sure must be taken into account. And considering this, let's say, melting pot or this diversity in cultures, we'd like to also understand how these human interactions and bonds through education and through the different parameters and factors you just discussed strengthen the ties between both countries.
Yes, inshallah. So last year also we bring, that Indonesia is very famous with batik. Batik is very famous, and we bring the batik artists here to teach you. We held the textile exhibition in Sadu House together with other ASEAN countries, and we bring the batik artists from Indonesia, and also we bring the artists from Malaysia, Philippines to teach how to make it, and in order to let the Kuwaiti people knows better about our cultural richness, and also the diversity in Indonesia and also in other ASEAN countries, especially in Indonesia, because we would like to, again, to promote the culture, because when you promote the culture, you will understand the people of the country.
Exactly.
For example, in Aceh, we have what we call it Saman traditional dance, Saman.
Traditional dance, yeah.
Yes, Saman is, derived from Arabic word. Is with the
Saman.
Saman.
Yes.
Is they singing with like
With the dance and movement, let's say.
Yes, but they sit and only hand move, hand and shoulder and head and head, not the feet, but because they sit
on the knees also.
Sometimes, but
sometimes.
they sit on the floor. And I said that gambus because even though they said that this is from Yemen tradition, but you can find it very unique. And even when we were kids, most of Muslim kids, they taught how to write Indonesian language with Arabic character. For example, I write down my name in Arabic, Lena Mariana. So not just when I came here, I can write it, but long before, when I was kid, I already know how to use Arabic letters. Even when you talk, you send the letter to your friends in Indonesian language, but in Arabic letters.
It's so beautiful.
Remarkable.
It's
yes,
so
beautiful
how Arabic is such a strong part of the Indonesian culture, whether it's from the names of women and men, and even how it's part of their culture in dance and music and art. It's so lovely to know.
And as always, there was always this remarkable connection between the two nations. I mean, the friendship, Your Excellency, is actually great. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And of course, Your Excellency, we have the short break, and after that, we're going to continue with our interview and also with the question. So for you, all the viewers, we would continue after the short break, so stay tuned.
And we're back after this short break, and again, both my co-hosts and myself are enjoying this very much enjoyable interview today.
We are really enjoying, and thank you, Fajr, for continuing this interview. So for you, our viewers, and for you, Your Excellency, we are so honored to have you one more time here with us in our show around Kuwait. So continuing to ask the questions that we have for today. Considering the diversity in cultures, how do people-to-people connections contribute to building bridges between Indonesia and Kuwait?
Yes, it's a very important P2P relation, people-to-people relation, because if only G2G is a very formal, but P2P, you can bring anything that you'd like to promote from Indonesia to Kuwait or Kuwait to Indonesia. And I think people-to-people relation is more important. It's more important in order to understand the two countries. And Alhamdulillah, when I've been here for 2 years, and now many people, because we are using also social media and promoting our relation between Indonesia and Kuwait. Alhamdulillah, now Kuwait is no longer, I mean, that is far away because it takes us about 8 hours to fly, but it's like, no longer far from Indonesian people's heart, because, we bring a lot of people to come here. Even on November, the President of the Supreme Justice visited Kuwait, and Mr. Sarifuddin, his name, and he conveyed the invitation for the President of the Supreme Court here in Kuwait to visit Indonesia on February. So hopefully that's beside this cooperation between the government of the two countries, also the people to people now.
Increase the connection.
We will
also,
bring more, mission, even a cultural mission or social mission, not political. I mean that what we call it the bilateral between the two parliament.
Yes.
Indonesian, and because we have the friendship, Kuwait and Indonesia parliament, we have the bilateral cooperation.
Parliamentary missions,
parliamentarian, and hopefully after the election in Indonesia on this February, they can visit Kuwait, and the vice versa to visit there. Inshallah.
Inshallah. We are so honored actually to be there.
Yes.
Of course.
Inshallah.
And the connection is actually really great. And even after the social media, you can see that the boundaries is actually really closer together. It's like it's almost the same people, especially with social media. Knowing about the culture, knowing about everything that we need to know is actually on the matter of like on the social media, knowing everything you need to know about it, which is really magical and great.
Yes.
And indeed, all this positive progress and the delegations and the bilateral parliamentary and the other connections that you discussed are wonderful. But I'd like to understand more about the challenges, the mutual challenges that both Indonesia and Kuwait face together, and where you stand on that.
Yes, that of course that we are facing what we call it the climate change, the food security problem, and so many challenges. The war now happening between Ukraine and Russia, and also what is happening in Gaza, the genocide in Gaza. So, and in many fields we share a very common position on this challenging. So, and in terms of the climate change and also the food security, I think both countries have same concern, and we will establish our cooperation in order to answer this challenge. And recently COP28 held in Dubai, so many countries attended this COP28. And for the first time, ASEAN and GCC summit took place last year in Riyadh.
Yes.
In Riyadh. So inshallah, that's they put many concern on that, many challenges that facing by the world, and again that Kuwait and Indonesia share a common ground position on every problem that we are facing in the world. So, inshallah,
we're working towards facing these challenges together.
Yes, together, and support each other to ensure other parties that to now that's to follow that's what is the common sense, that I think is there for any problems that we are facing in the world. Inshallah.
Thank you for this remarkable answer. So, Your Excellency, in what ways do you think that the educational exchange between the two nations will increase and, let's say, strengthen the connection between the two countries?
Yes, you know that we knew that you have a very strong university here, Kuwait University, and you have a very marvelous facility of Kuwait University, the new one, because I visited, I met with the president, and and you know that's it's amazing in terms of the facility here, in terms of the the education vision and mission in this country. And of course, as I said, that Indonesia, you know, as a big country, we have a very a lot of human resources in terms of education, that we send also the lecturer in the field and education to the Kuwait University. And we have also like the field study between the two countries, but mostly come from Indonesia to Kuwait. Hopefully in the coming years, Kuwait University will send their lecturers or their staff to
Indonesia.
Yes, to Indonesia.
We're so honored actually to have that.
And of course that we request humbly that Kuwait will give us more scholarship, not only for the language, but also in Sharia, in faculty, for example, because they'd like to know about the law faculty or Sharia.
Sharia,
And yes, in other faculty and other major, not only for the language, because the reason now that we receive the scholarship only for the
language.
For Lugha.
Lugha,
Yes, not for
the Arabic,
Yes. You know that most of Muslim in Indonesia, they can read Quran very nice. Even me, I can read Quran
That's remarkable.
Very nice, but we don't know the meaning, but we have the translation, etc. But now we are promoting, because Arabic is the most important language. I mean that well-known language in the world, and you can use Arabic language. Alhamdulillah. So hopefully that beside the language, beside the logo, we are also looking forward to getting more scholarship in other major.
Yes, so I'm sorry to step on, and I'm really so honored that you liked the facility of Kuwait University.
Oh, yes.
Because it's really great.
Yes, and other university I've been visited, public and private. I mean the private university, they have also very nice facility and. Yes.
And distinguished buildings with regards to their architectural design. But Your Excellency, with regards to the educational initiatives, I think you gave us a very clear overview. However, I'd like you to elaborate more on some of the different initiatives. For example, we'd like to understand more about the tourism initiatives between Kuwait and Indonesia, and how this mutual understanding can strengthen the bond between both countries.
Yes, in terms of tourism, that's we are known as also established country in terms of tourism.
Especially now with 10 Balis coming on
their
their way.
Yes, and we see the potential here in Kuwait. And I've seen in 2 years that you're developing many projects here, especially for the tourist attraction here. And Kuwait also in the New Vision 2035. Now you're getting there, and you have I think that 107 projects here in Kuwait. I think this is the opportunity for Indonesia to cooperation in terms of developing your country, and vice versa. And we are so grateful, because you know that besides tourism, in the oil and gas cooperation, you have the office of KUPEC in our country in Jakarta, and it was since 1980s. And recently, KUPEC managed to find the new site of oil in Anambas. Hopefully, that's this cooperation, not only education, tourism, and also in economic ties between the two countries will be strengthened. Inshallah in the coming years. Yes, inshallah.
Thank you, Your Excellency, to be here with us at our show. We are actually so glad. But one last question. Tell us about what do you hope in the future that you will see, some of the things that you wish to see here in Kuwait on the future, inshallah.
Yes, of course that, we hopefully can fulfill what demand from Kuwait. For example, the manpower, the professional, the skilled manpower here, and also to increase the trade cooperation because of the COVID happening.
Yes.
The trade cooperation between the two countries decreasing, and hopefully after we will recover together,
Inshallah.
and we recover stronger, and that's the the tagline of our presidency as the G20 presidency last year. So we said that all the country has to be recovered together after COVID and recover stronger, and especially with Kuwait, we will see that's the more cooperation, especially in economic and education also.
More
beside
economic,
the cultural. Beside
inshallah,
the cultural
in the future
exchange.
there will be more economic collaboration,
Yes.
more educational collaboration,
Yes,
as you
inshallah.
wish, Your Excellency.
Yes.
I
Yes,
think you've
inshallah.
given us such a beautifully detailed overview of the historical and diplomatic relationship between both Kuwait and Indonesia throughout the interview. Both Abdul Latif and myself, and I'm sure all the viewers, have learned so much about the collaborations and the ties and the bond between both countries. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us today in Around Kuwait.
Thank you. Thank you on behalf of our people here, and also on behalf of our government for inviting us here. Thank you so much. And we are looking forward to see you in Jakarta
Inshallah.
or the other part of Indonesia, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
Your Highness, Your
Marhaban.
Excellency, and
Yes,
thank you
thank
for
you.
being here with us. And for you, our viewers, we would see you for the next time on the other episodes. And goodbye for now.